Trump launches Operation Scorpion after Iran peace talks collapse. Hillary speaks after her deposition over Epstein. Russia threatens Estonia. And Jean-Claude Van Damme wants to fight Jake Paul. That's what I have for you today. Let's get into it. So, my first one was about Trump launching Task Force Operation Scorpion. What is that? Well, it is actually $35,000 a piece kamikaze drones. Basically, going to use those for targeted strikes. This one came out of the Daily Mail, and it's basically roundabout says, Donald Trump has an armed squadron of kamikaze drones that he's going to deploy because it's been approved through the Pentagon to use them for military strikes. They did a successful run of them in, I don't know, over the summer or something, I think is what it said. They're pretty wild looking drones, but it's part of the military buildup in the Middle East against Iran. I think it's just another show of force that, you're going to come to the table and talk. But Ayatollah Khomeini, I don't think he's going to come to the table. He's already basically shunned the demands the Trump administration has put forward. Basically, it's just no nukes. Let it go. No need. But they're not going to. So, anyways, just another weapon or tool in his toolbox to use against them, which, that would keep soldiers' boots off the ground for now. Yeah, see, it says we established a squadron last year to rapidly equip our warfighters with new combat drone capabilities that continue to evolve. That was Central Command spokesman Tim Hawkins. Yes, and these kamikaze drones, they were tested in the Arabian Gulf in December, and they cost right around $35,000 a piece. Trump wants Iran's nuclear facilities dismantled, and they're not going to do it. They might say they're going to do it, but they're not going to do it. I'll put a picture of these drones up, man. They're wild looking. The drones are produced in Arizona and are designed for one-way attack, reconnaissance operations, and maritime strikes. They're not meant to go out and come back. They're meant to go out and do what their job is, which is bomb the shit out of stuff. Trump's new aerial weapons have an extensive range and are designed to operate autonomously. Use them, strategically strike them. I mean, you're going to do it anyway. They're not going to come to the table. The end. I keep saying this. I keep talking about it. I'm going to spend a whole lot less time on it today. But in addition to those kamikaze drones, he also sent F-22 fighters to Israel, and they are on standby for deployment. There you go. He can use those drones to hit, uranium enrichment facilities. He can use them to hit roads. But basically, what I was saying, in the one video I made about, I'd hit infrastructure, roads, power grid, the sites where they're enriching the uranium, I'd hit it all. He could probably do it with those. And then you don't have your soldiers, you don't have your boots on the ground in danger. Uh, I think that would be a great place to start, in my opinion. I mean, a huge place to start. They don't want to talk? Send some kamikaze drones in there. Then you're not wasting umpteen $1 million on a Raytheon missile to get your point across. You're just wasting your $35,000 a piece kamikaze drones doing what they were designed to do. We'll see where it goes. It is early on a Friday. You never know. He may hit him today. He might hit him tomorrow. I thought it was going to be Wednesday, and I said, it could be Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure. He gave him 10 days. He's building up. They're building up. Blah blah blah. They don't want to accept the demands. It's inevitable. He's going to strike them, and if he happens, I guess we're going to see how that plays out. So it is what it is. Hillary Clinton was in a deposition yesterday about her links to Jeffrey Epstein, which she comes out saying, didn't even know the guy. I didn't know the guy. Don't you think people deserve an answer better than I didn't know him? I didn't know him. You didn't know him. Well, you know what? I believe that looks like you know him. I believe that looks like you know him. I mean, she won't say she knows him, and she's criticized the Republicans for her closed door depositions. When asked why Maxwell was invited to Chelsea Clinton's wedding, however, Clinton said that she was a plus one to someone else that was invited. Imagine that. I wonder who that plus one was. Who was Ghislaine Maxwell's man? That was Jeffrey Epstein, now wasn't it? Imagine that. Ah, she says she did not know Epstein and said she only knew Ghislaine Maxwell as an acquaintance. Now, it's been reported they had Ghislaine at the Clinton Foundation stuff and all that crazy shit. Hmm. But wasn't Ghislaine a part of that whole Epstein thing? That's weird. That's weird. Huh. I. That's weird. She didn't know. Anyways, I guess Comer come out after she went out and did a big grandstand talk yesterday after her meeting. Uh, Comer come out afterwards and said that Clinton answered most of our questions in a productive deposition, but said Republicans ultimately weren't satisfied with what they gleaned. The number of times that she said, I don't know, you'll have to ask my husband, was more than a dozen times, according to Comer. Well, yeah, she's dumping it all on Bill's lap. I mean, that's his depositions today. They say it's going to be a lot longer. Basically, they didn't get any answers, and she stalled the entire time. That's basically what they do. You want accountability? They don't give a shit. Basically, they're above you. They don't care about your answers. I can't wait to see what Bill has to say after his deposition or what they say they find out. I'll bet you it's, oh, I don't know if it's the same guy. I did not fly on that jet. Like I didn't have sex with that woman. You know. Yeah, of course, Bill. Well, I can tell you the American people weren't satisfied with the whole Epstein thing either. Comer, you guys know the Clintons are involved in that shit. It's not a coincidence that she's connected to Ghislaine Clinton, to Jeffrey Epstein, the Podestas, and Pizzagate. It all ties to each other, does it not? It's all child sex trafficking, a whole lot of victims. The Bromovich woman, Podesta, Clinton, Ghislaine Maxwell, Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Clinton. I mean, it's a big circle. It's a big club. Why is they they obviously let her off pretty easy, and if the American people, if the Democrats let her off easy, I'm here to tell you, they're not really concerned with it. They're only concerned with trying to connect Trump to it somehow or whatever. Uh, yeah, I can't wait to see Bill Clinton's deposition, which they're not going to do it in a public setting. They're going to do it behind closed doors. Clinton wanted it done behind closed doors. Therefore, didn't want to see how she just sat there and said, uh, you have to ask my husband. I'm not sure. You have to ask my husband. You have to ask my husband. Well, I guess they're going to ask him today, and I guess we're going to find out what the real story is. Not really. We're going to get some bullshit lie. That's pretty much where that's going to go. We're not going to get any answers at all. We're not. And people that think we are, you're living in a fairy tale land. when you have people like the Clintons and everything else, and politicians or in positions of high power, very rich, tied up in this, if you think the people in Congress, shit, they own the people in Congress pretty much. They're not going to give you any answers. They're going to glean over this shit. We want answers. Trust me, I'd like to have answers too. I'd like to know who's on the list, who did what. I mean, we all seen my video about what I think about pedophiles. Not a fan at all. Not even a little bit. And I stand on that for everybody involved in the Epstein shit too. But I've come to realize they're going to redact and only release what they want to. And, everybody keeps saying Trump was a part of it. Trump was a part of it. You'd think if Trump had done the things they said and they knew about it prior to 2015 when he come down the golden escalator, don't you think he would have never came down that golden escalator? Don't you think they'd have used that? Don't you think Hillary Clinton, of all people, would have used that against him? You just got to think critically for a minute. Don't you think in 2015, during all these debates and this, that, and the other, when they publicly smear the shit out of each other in a presidential race, instead they went to a fake Russian hoax? It's because they didn't have anything on him. They knew he wasn't a part of Epstein. So people out here calling him a pedophile and stuff, you guys are stupid. You have zero brain. You cannot use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. If they had anything on him and were able to prove anything on him, they would have used it. They would have used it prior to 2020. They would have used it. They would have used it prior to 2024. They would have used it against him to keep him out. Like, everyone's like, oh, release the files. Okay. What about Obama's term? What about Biden's term? Biden could have released that shit. He could have declassified and released the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Now, couldn't he have? And then if there was something in there that actually implicated Trump, other than a bunch of hearsay rumors with no proof, one little slip of paper, they'd have used it on him. And if it were true, I'd have backed them using it on him because I back it using those against Clinton's. I'm not going to keep my morals based on who's a part of it and who's not. That's the problem with people on the left. Their morals switch with who's guilty and who's not. Their morals go like this. Mine's right down the center. I don't give a shit what side of the aisle you're on. You're involved in that shit. You need brought to justice. Period. The end. We want answers. We need them answers. I can't stand people messing with kids and freaks like the Podestas and that, you know, Epstein, Maxwell, all of them. Like, even these celebrities. Okay, so the celebrities, there's certain celebrities that I've seen named in it. Well, I haven't seen them, but people's claiming that, certain celebrities are named off in them. Okay, cool. I won't watch another one of their movies if it's one of them I know that I watch their movies or watch their TV shows. I won't do it. People lost their mind over Joe Rogan. I've not seen anything where they could prove anything that he did anything. I don't know. I I can't figure out how to get that shit to download and stuff, but I'm not tech savvy, obviously. I'm working on it, but what I have, researched and found, they can't prove anything on Trump. It was hearsay. He was friends with him for a little while, and then they became mortal enemies in the real estate business. And Trump actually informed on him. Why would he do that if he was implicated in it? It doesn't make sense. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. They'd be tight buddies. Whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna get off subject. I can't wait to see him do this deposition with the Clintons. This is just basically a sleight of hands. Look over here. Look, we're doing something. We're doing something. You know, I don't figure it's going to go anywhere. Don't figure we're going to get any real answers out of it. Basically, all they did was come out and say, well, she basically stalled, filibustered her answers, dumped it into Bill's lap. we're gonna put Bill Clinton in a deposition tomorrow, and we'll get our answers then. No, you're probably not. You're probably not going to get your answers then. So let's move on. Russia signals nuclear response if Estonia moves forward in hosting NATO weapons. Now, this could be thought of in a couple different directions. Estonia is part of NATO, Russia bad, or you could look at it in a light of how would you feel if Russia had nuclear missiles in Cuba? Wait, didn't that happen once? I believe it did. I think that was back in 1962. We had the Cuban Missile Crisis. Damn near started the Cold War, like thermonuclear war. That's the closest we've came to World War III. Huh. And I mean, Cuba, in reference to the United States, isn't even as close as Estonia is to Russia. I mean, look, Estonia is literally touching Russia. Now, I understand Estonia being a part of NATO, but why would you put nuclear weapons right there in Estonia? That's just provoking shit. That's literally provoking stuff. And we did not want missiles that close to us in 62. So why would Russia be able to accept missiles even closer to them? That's to me, that's provoking a war. That is provoking Russia in every way possible. And Russia's basically warned that if missiles are there, they're going to point nukes right at Estonia. I mean, that'd be kind of weird. You're just going to shoot right across your border. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me, but what do I know? I mean, I don't think it's a smart move to put our weapons there because that's just provoking them. That's just encroaching on them a little bit more. And why? Why we have stuff that can reach them. We do. We already have stuff that can reach them. We don't need to put shit there, whether they're part of NATO or not. Why poke the bear when you don't have to? Honestly, because after Putin, who's it going to be? Maybe someone not as calm as Putin. Maybe somebody that just says, you know what, fuck it, mad, mutually assured destruction. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Hey, you know who's not in the Epstein files? Putin. Just thought everybody, since Putin's such a horrible guy. Yeah, he's not in the Epstein files. He's just ex KGB, very intelligent, pretty tough son bitch, but whatever. I don't think it's the U.S.'s, I don't think it's NATO's or the U.S.'s best interest to start sticking nuclear weapons in Estonia. I just don't. I don't. To me, it's bringing unnecessary drama to the world front that ultimately could lead to something bad. That's just that's just me talking. Like I said, I think it's poking the bear. I literally think it's poking the Russian bear. Just let it go. Let it go. Don't do it. It's kind of dumb. And you're giving Russia and Putin another reason to feel threatened by NATO. Just another reason for them to be on a hair trigger. Don't. Just don't. Don't push it. Okay? Just don't push it. Let it go. We don't need to we have shit that can reach them. We have shit in other places that can reach them. Stop. Let's not do this. Let's not poke the bear. I mean, that's literally my opinion. Why poke the bear? Let Russia do what they're going to do. Let him and Ukraine, the dictator of Ukraine, I'm going to keep calling him that because it's what he is. He's a dictator. He was supposed to have elections 4 years ago, declared martial law and suspended elections. And he's never going to want the war to end over there in Ukraine. He's going to want the Russian Ukraine war thing to keep going, to keep getting money so he can keep staying in power. He wanted to be a dictator. He was literally a comedian who portrayed being a fucking president. He's a fucking idiot. I stand on that. He's a fucking idiot. Zelensky's a fucking idiot and a dictator. But he's on the left side over there. He's a Democrat and he seized power. That's if anyone seizes power in the US, it's going to be someone from the left. They're going to seize power. They're going to do the same fucking thing Zelensky did. They're going to declare martial law for some stupid reason. They'll spark something here or flood the U.S. again with illegals and shit, and then declare martial law, suspend elections, and stay in power. And put their boot heel right on the back of the neck of the rest of us. That's exactly what'll happen. They're just like Zelensky. They just wanted to see if it would work over there. And as long as Russia and Ukraine are fighting, Zelensky's going to stay in power. Done said, no elections until they come to a an agreement, a treaty. Until that happens, nope, he's going to stay in power. That's a dictator. That's what y'all accuse Trump of. But anyways, yeah, I don't think we should put nukes in Estonia. I just don't. It's stupid. It's putting them right against Russia's border. We didn't like it in 1962 whenever Russia stuck nukes in Cuba. I mean, it was the 13-day war in October 1962. Look it up. They had nuclear weapons sitting in Cuba. I mean, pretty well right against the U.S., and we didn't like it. That's what started the Cuban Missile Crisis. I just think it's unneeded. It's unnecessary. It is just unnecessary. And finally, I'm not going to spend a lot of. Okay, so finally, I can't say that. I might spend a few minutes on this. Finally, I scroll through TikTok, of all things, and up pops Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, I made a story about Jake Paul's Bud Light moment, or a video about Jake Paul's Bud Light moment. So I know he's still recovering from his jaw and everything. He's going to announce a new fight, but I seen well, Jean-Claude Van Damme is calling out Jake Paul to a fight. He said K1 versus boxing. What is Jake Paul, like 34, 35? I mean, he boxed how many people? What do I think about this? I don't know. I mean, okay, in one aspect, you beat Jean-Claude Van Damme. Do you have bragging rights that you beat Jean-Claude Van Damme in his prime? No. But Jean-Claude Van Damme is very adamant about this in his video. Like he wants to fight him. He wants to he said he wants to kick his ass. Much respect. No elbows, no knees, no low kicks. And I'd say he would be a handful, but does he have the stamina to take on Jake Paul in a boxing match? And Jake Paul's not a kickboxer, he's just a boxer. So I'm wondering where this would go. How much time would Van Damme give him the time to train for kickboxing? Does Jake Paul have any interest in kickboxing? I don't know. Would it be interesting? Would I watch it? Yeah, I'd watch it. I'd watch it just to see what happened. I'm curious why all of a sudden does old JCVD want to fight Jake Paul? I mean, I know he's very very well trained in the kickboxing K1. He thinks he can beat him. I mean, I don't know. In that position, if I was Jake Paul, would I fight Van Dam? I don't know. I mean, he is calling you out. He's old enough to know better if he gets his ass whooped, in my opinion. But he's calling you out. It's not like Jake Paul's like, I want Jean-Claude Van Damme right now. It would be worth a watch. I mean, he's I'm sure he's still recovering from the broken jaw with Anthony Joshua. So I don't figure you're going to see him jump in the ring anytime soon. But I'm kind of curious if he's going to answer that or if he's just going to keep. Because I've seen like two different posts on TikTok where he's like, Jean Claude's like, hey, call me. I'm not going to stop till you say yes. I mean, I don't know, set some rules and say yeah. I mean, he's not going to stop. I mean, I think I would try to learn how to kick a little bit. Maybe Jake already knows how to kick, but I don't know. I say yeah. I don't know who I'd put my money on because I mean, you look at Van Dam. He's got a long time of training, and he is good hands and feet. So if he's allowed to use his feet, if he had to use just his hands, would Van Dam still want to do it? But he wants to do K1 versus boxing. I think if Jake could stay away from his legs, I mean, I think it would go. I think Jake give him a run for his money because, I mean, Jake's 34, 35 years old. He could probably beat him if he could stay away from his legs. I don't know. I mean, that's a tough call. That's a real tough call. I don't know how I feel about that one. Because now I just kind of stuck my own foot in my mouth saying, I think if Jake could stay away from his feet, he could beat him. But I really don't know. I don't know how that would pan out. I don't. Because I like Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies. I used to. Whenever I haven't watched any for a long time. But like he's one of the rare people that actually, you know, really knows how to do, the punch, the kickboxing basically. He wasn't just faking it on screen. And I think in Hollywood they said he did his own stunts and stuff. He didn't have a stunt double. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I've heard several times. So would it be an interesting fight? I mean, a fighter versus a young, somewhat new fighter. 'Cause like I said in the last, I'm not going to pick on him. I'm not going to pick on Jake Paul at all. I mean, he's out there. He obviously likes boxing. He's obviously pretty decent at it. I mean, he's got a pretty decent record. He lost a fight to Anthony Joshua, but you can't win them all. I mean, Floyd Mayweather has, but that's a rarity. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know because I feel like if you're in Jake Paul's situation, now this is how I'm gonna frame this. If you're in Jake Paul's situation and you take this fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's 30, 40 years your senior, you get your ass kicked. Now you got to go around telling everybody, I got my ass kicked by this old man. Now, on the other hand, you beat Jean Claude Van Damme. What's your bragging rights? I beat this old motherfucker's ass. I pounded him into the floor. Did y'all see that? I mean, God, it's one of them catch 22s, but in the same breath, I kind of got to say, you know what? Old JCVD's calling him out. He's old enough to know better. He's old enough to get his ass whooped, I guess. But there you have it. I mean, that's a hard one. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if I was him. I really don't. I don't know what I would do if I was Jake. I don't know if I'd accept it or not, but I don't know. And there it is. There you have it for a Friday, for Matt's opinion. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you're listening to me on Spotify or you haven't found me on Spotify yet, go over to Spotify and subscribe for the audio only. And if you wanted to support my channel, I'll leave a link in the description or you can slide over to my sponsor, Dubby, and try one of their 15 flavors with over 20,000 5-star reviews. Just let them know I sent you by putting in coupon code Matt's Opinion and save yourself 10%. And they'll support me for you supporting them.